So getting the front end on this thing, we have moved the fuse box from here, decided to put it back behind the engine against the firewall. The only thing we have to extend are 3 wires. One that goes to the battery, one that's to the fuse box, and the main ground. So that makes it easier. They are tacked in place. All right, fast forward. It's after lunch now. Got a lot of work done. Let me show you. We have the plates and the frame ends fully welded in all the way around to that side. I got 2 verticals done to the winch mount. Our 1 hoop that comes up and around. It's fully welded in. That's what supports the front of the engine, right? Or the winch mount, not the engine. And then been bouncing around ideas, trying to incorporate that guy, but it's just not working out anywhere we want. So we bent as a joke a long time ago a massive stinger. I think what I'm gonna do is cut it and use it there, and then we have our 2 fender hoops there. So let me scale back here. That's what I'm thinking. Obviously cut it off there and there so those go away, but that'll be it. Gives me plenty of room, so all the engine and everything is protected. Gives me perfect coilover mounting options right here. Can tuck it up and behind, go to bottom or outside depending on the angle, but looking roughly at the angle it'll mount directly underneath, but there's tons of room going off the compress and extended links. Gives me a good base to keep on going. And then it's also, it's hard to tell because the moving blanket's on here, but there's all sorts of stuff stacked on top of it. But if you look at the firewall line versus this, like I said, there's like 4 inches of stuff under that blanket. So it means the hood can come down, boom, with the engine perfectly. Also it gives me room to bring my stringer across between the struts. So I think that is gonna be next. So take all this down because it is very precariously put in place. I think we're gonna cut this guy where it needs to go, zap it in, and then we'll do our corners. All right, doing stuff like this, massive projects get you excited. You're not just pulling away at something for a long time. Looks like you get no progress. Like the front end's actually coming together. Main goal today was just get the front frame supported, so that lower tube done right here. But Quinn over there, hold on, camera's fogging up. That's better. Quinn over there knocked out the 4Runner lift kit we had for today, and he's continuing on the white 4Runner over there. It's a big, like, month-long project we got, like full build. So he's plugging away good, which allowed me to sit over here most today. So let's keep going. All right, that guy's welded in. Now we're working on, I guess you call them the front fenders. So thinking something like that. Obviously it'll sit down a little lower. I just got the PVC bar in there just so I have a little equal reference, but I think to make this easy, I've marked center of tube as it relates to this tube, and I'm just gonna 90 notch it, and I'll do that on both sides, and where it lands is where it lands, and then that'll get my rotation with this bend right, and then it'll land in that corner. So however that 90 is, will slide until it lands. It should be even. That's the plan anyways. Well, end of the day today. Got one of the fenders tacked in. I think it's gonna be it for me today. It's almost 6 o'clock. Everybody's left for a while now. Got the driver's side clock fender to do on in the morning, but me show you what we have. This might be a decent little quick video. So here you go. That's what we have. This passenger one right here is only tacked in place. The PVC pipe right here is just keeping it so I know I have enough room for like a strut tower that clears the manifold, but there it is. In the morning, I've already got this side notched and it's just clamped in place, and that one's just hovering. We'll have to notch that back corner. Get them both tacked in place, make sure they're square, and then we'll burn them in, and then we'll make our strut tower. And that should be as far as I can do with the front end until we get coilovers and bump stops in, because I don't want to set the nodes for that until I know where the coilover is going to land. But yeah, looking good. All right, Tuesday morning, here's what we have. We have both front tubes tacked in place. Take that thing off. And I'm liking the look of it. So we're at full bump. A coilover is 26.5 inches eye to eye. Tape measure out here. So, setting that down to there. So think your mount sits up a little bit. We're pretty much perfect. It'll be leaned in a little bit, which makes it underneath this, maybe a little bit behind it, which is awesome. So let's clamp these in place so they don't walk on me and burn these in. All right, all welded up. Kind of get a glimpse of what it's gonna eventually look like. We obviously have to do a bunch of nodes and stuff, but I can't set any of that until I have coilovers. So in the meantime, to lock in ride height, I've got a tube welded in or tacked in on each side just to support it. This is at ride height. It's roughly 6.5 inches before full bump, and that's leaving myself an inch more of up before the links contact the motor mounts. So yeah, that's it. Main reason to get this whole front end like kind of triangled up is we have a Mercedes-Benz we're doing a fuel tank on. We need the lift. This has to roll out. But I think when it rolls back in, we'll roll the back end in and start working on the rear. So do me a favor and like and subscribe. So got the crawler inside, rear axle. I'm in the middle of tearing it down. Got them all cut off with the Sawzall and the big cutoff wheel, the 3.5 inch disc. Slowly just grinding everything down so it's a nice smooth axle. So our Barnes truss will go on the back.